Los Roques archipelago is a federal dependency of Venezuela consisting of approximately 350 islands, cays, and islets in a total area of 40.61 square kilometers. The archipelago is located 128 kilometers directly north of the port of La Guaira. The island's pristine coral reef attracts many wealthy visitors, especially from Europe, some of whom come in their own yachts and anchor in the inner, protected shallow waters. Development and tourism are controlled. Because of the wide variety of seabirds and rich aquatic life, the Venezuelan government declared Los Roques a national park in 1972. Demographics: the archipelago is sparsely populated, having about 1,500 permanent inhabitants. However, it receives approximately 70,000 visitors a year, many of them day visitors who come from Caracas and the mainland. Geography: the major islands of the archipelago have an atoll structure, with two external barriers formed by coral communities, and an inner lagoon and sandy shallows. The park consists of 40.61 square kilometers, 1,500 square kilometers of coral reefs, 42 coral cays surrounding a shallow central lagoon of 400 square kilometers, 2 barrier reefs and 300 sand banks, islands and cays, ranging in size from Cayo Grande to the Gran Roque. Other important islands are Francisqui, Nordisqui, Madrisqui, and Crasqui. Infrastructure: El Gran Roque is the only populated island in the group. It has an airport suitable for small or STOL aircraft, Los Roques Airport. The airport is controlled from the Maiquetía Airport on the mainland. From El Gran Roque, most visitors that arrive go to the port and travel to the cays in small boats called paneros from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Attractions: activities include fishing, birding, snorkeling, diving, paddling, windsurfing, and kite surfing, and there is a sea turtle research center located on Dos Marquesas. Accommodations include Pez Raton Lodge, a property primarily used to host fishing guests; Posada Mediterráneo, a 5-room inn which accommodates non-fishing guests; and dozens more like El Canto de la Ballena and Posada La Terraza. History: the islands were sighted by early European navigators, and in 1589 the governor of the Venezuelan province ordered the formal takeover of these islands on behalf of the colony. The Dutch considered Los Roques to belong to their island territory of Curaçao because of its proximity to Bonaire, which also belonged to the Dutch. The author M.D. Teenstra in 1836 still writes, "The government of Curaçao also includes the uninhabited islets and rocks Little Curaçao, Aves, Roques and Orchula." Quote, in 1871 the Venezuelan President Antonio Guzman Blanco created by decree the Territorio Colon, which included Los Roques and other adjacent islands. The island of Gran Roque was named as the center of territorial government. Climate: the climate is warm and dry, with average annual temperature of 27.3 degrees Celsius in July, and August reaches a maximum of 34 degrees, and between September and January presented occasional rain, with relative humidity 83% annually. Rainfall is 256.6 mm per year, minimum 6.6 mm and maximum 52.2 mm. Demography: the population of the Roques concentrates mainly on the island of Gran Roque and to a lesser extent its adjacent islets. For 1941, was estimated at about 484 people. For 1950 reached 559, and in 1987, 663 permanent inhabitants. According According to the Venezuelan census of 2001, 1.209 inhabitants were counted. By 2008 it is estimated that the number of its inhabitants is around 1,800. Its growth is limited because of restrictions involving the declaration as a national park in the 70s. Most of the population is Margritino origin, who came to the islands mainly to engage in fishing. Since the early 20th century addition to the present small groups of foreign